Peace. So I'm making a short video today, and I just want to speak a little bit about gluten allergies and gluten intolerance. Um, so one of the main reasons I'm making this video is because I am promoting and marketing a specialty vegan menu. And one of the things I realized while developing this menu is that I like to use gluten. It's a very useful ingredient. And over the years, I've become aware that this gluten intolerance or gluten allergy is becoming a more and more prevalent diagnosis, something that people are concerned with. So I just wanted to share some insight and ideas about the gluten allergies. Obviously, like I said, I use a lot of gluten, and while at the same time I am in the process of developing some gluten-free recipes, gluten-free vegan recipes. So I do have one, and hopefully, over the next few weeks and months, I'll have some more. But anyways, I just wanted to share some ideas about these gluten allergies and gluten intolerance, because when thinking about this, basically what we come to realize is that bread has been a consistent staple for people here on earth for a substantial amount of time. I do not want to say it's been all of human history, because I do believe that human history is much longer than what we currently acknowledge, but that's the subject for another video, and that video will eventually be here on YouTube. But people have been eating bread for a long time, basically. So how is it that within the past 50 to 100 years, all of a sudden so many people are allergic to bread? So I feel like there's two explanations for this. The first being that, well, the gluten allergy has always been there, and we've always been intolerant to gluten, and that doctors and scientists are just now becoming able to diagnose the allergy. And the other explanation is that the quality of the grains that we're now consuming, the whole wheat grains, has changed within the past 100 years, let's say, through whatever forms of genetic engineering that has taken place within these crops, within this whole wheat, to the point that the main most popular variety of whole wheat that's used for breads and flours is now producing higher quantities of gluten, which, if you don't know, gluten is basically a protein that's found in the grain. So the idea is that within this past 50 to 100 years, the concentration of gluten has increased to what is not known as natural within the human body, which is what is actually causing the adverse reaction or allergic reaction or intolerance to the gluten. So this is something that I would advise or encourage anyone with a so-called allergy or intolerance to learn more about. A primary source of information on this idea for me has been Dr. Sebi, the late great Dr. Sebi, may he rest in peace. Now, if you look at Dr. Sebi's nutrition list, he does have some grains that are recommended, and you will see that 2 of these grains contain gluten, and that's spelt and kamut. These are varieties of whole wheat. So the idea here being that because these are closer to the original or the older, the most ancient version, the most indigenous version of whole wheat, these are less likely to cause an adverse reaction within the human body. So I am not an absolute expert on this. but this is the direction I'm headed. Where I'm at in Karatu, Tanzania, I do have access to a variety of whole wheat that to me looks like the grain known as kamut. I don't get it in a package. I get it straight from the farmer's market. So it does look like the product that is being marketed as kamut. And for me, this may sound silly to some people, but to me, being here in the land known as Kemet, it would make sense that the local indigenous grain that I have access to is also known as kamut. This makes sense to me, but I'm not going to market my recipes as containing this superfood ancient grain kamut. I go to the farmer's market, I source the local indigenous whole wheat product. I don't know if it's not barley, but it looks like it looks very similar to the product that is being marketed as kamut. It also looks somewhat similar to spelt. So I can't really confirm for sure that this is not the genetically engineered version or variety of whole wheat, but this is what I use. And I do sometimes blend the farmer's market with the packaged whole wheat. It's still the brown whole grain version of the wheat. Sometimes I'll mix the two because it's easier sometimes, but more and more what I'm doing is making the effort to go get the whole grain and process it into flour, bring it to the machine and grind it into the whole wheat flour, and that's what I'm doing. So are gluten allergies real? Bottom line, I don't really know, but I would advise anyone or suggest for anyone interested in learning more, try some of these so-called indigenous varieties such as spelt or kamut and see if these cause the same adverse reactions as the mainstream whole wheat products that you may be familiar with. So with that being said, I'd like to conclude this video. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share this video, and stay tuned for more videos. Peace.